Good morning, dear students. Today we have a concept of co-branding. So branding we came to know. So what is co-branding now? So we are having many meanings in this slide. Simply it is one, two or more companies acting in cooperation to associate any of various logo, color schemes or brand identifiers to a specific product that is contractually designated for this purpose is called as a co-branding. Otherwise, the utilization of two or more brands to name a new product. The ingredients brands help each other to achieve their aims, so that is called as a co-branding. Means your combination of two or more company to form a new product or a new brand, it is called as a co-branding. Okay, the combining and retaining of two or more brands to create a single unique product or single unique services is called as a co-branding. You will be understanding by quoting the examples in a next slide. So co-branding is combining and retaining two or more brands to create a single unique product or a services. Okay, so advantages of co-branding here. So co-branding, it is going to help in lessen the cost of launching a new product. So if you have come up with a new product and having a new brand, it is very much difficult in the market to launch your product, because to identify your potential customer, conveying the availabilities of the product, you need to talk about a brand, a new brand, what your coming into the market for the first time, and the customers need to understand what is the performance of the brand when compared to the existing brands in the market. So creating awareness, the promotional strategies, identifying potential customers, everything involves a cost. But when the new company or the new product combined with the existing product, and they can launch their product in a market, in the sense they can avoid all this cost, and they can avoid we are going to call it as a launching a new product cost. Actually it is going to be less, comparatively less. And the next one is we are having a consumer loyalty is going to be enhanced, since same affection and administration bestowed on the product, that respect and will extend to its co-brandings also. So if you are combining with the existing brand and it is a well-known brand, so Tech Mahindra, actually Kotak Mahindra, actually, okay, correct now. So the brand Kotak is a bank and Mahindra is for tractors and tillers, where it is having a combinations of farmers where easily can afford the loans actually. So Kotak Mahindra, they combine together, so those who are having a loyal customers to a Kotak and a Mahindra also, they'll be having a loyal customers, and that is going to be enhance the satisfaction of the customers. Okay, so next one is co-branding entails cost saving, not only in terms of advertising but also other overhead cost like rental expenses, leased expenses, utility expenses, manpower expenses, everything is going to be saved. Rather, running a same or a similar product in the market, combining two brand, giving a unique products, it is going to be save all the overheads, and rather making it as a duplication of work. And the next one is talents, experts and creativity are going to be shared. The skill is going to be improved, the creativity is going to be improved, ultimately the performance of a product is going to be improved, the customers are going to be satisfied, ultimately the profitabilities of the business. And the next is it encourage participation from the consumer, who benefit from the convincing of having multiple selections and different product that are available in one roof or outlet. So the customers are so happy here. Why? Because they will be getting a different set of products in one particular outlet, combining two or more brands, so they will be happy. So these are some of the advantages when we are looking with the co-branding. We are having disadvantages also. Why the disadvantages? In the sense risk and lack of control. Risk and lack of control. We are having many co-brands here. We are having risk and lack of control, in the sense, take example of Kotak Mahindra. Okay, so Kotak Mahindra is basically a bank who is going to generate a loan for a farmers who is going to purchase a Mahindra's agricultural tools and tractors and tillers. Okay, so here whichever the customer, either it is customers of Mahindra or customers of the Kotak, however you are going to react with the customers. If it is positive, it will be having a positive impact. If it is negative, it will be having a negative impact. So here if you are not treating customers well, Kotak customers by Mahindra and Mahindra's customers by the Kotak, so that is going to make an impact on one particular brand. So the lack of control and the risk is more involved when we thought about only the individual brands. Okay, next, consumer expectation. So the consumer is going to expect more. Why? Because two well-known brands are combined together, definitely they will be having a unique product to produce in a market. Okay, so that high expectation, if not met by this co-branding people, definitely the what is the image the individual brands having in a market, that is also going to be loose. And next one is possible negative impact on the brand and lack of focus on existing brand. So that is what I told you. So when you are combining with the other brands and other products, you cannot concentrate on your own core brand actually. So you are going to have a negative impact on your core brand also. I'm not telling it is going to be happen always, but sometimes you cannot concentrate on the core brand and you are concentrating on a new product and the new brand, and sometimes it is going to be very much risky for the people. So these are the disadvantages of the co-brand. Next one is co-branding strategy. Here you can understand very easily what exactly the co-branding actually. So first one is ingredient co-branding actually. Okay, so creating brand equity for material components or parts that are contained within one product. I just quoted an example here. Betty Crocker's brownie mix include Ashley chocolates. So we are having Betty Crocker is also on the top and Ashley's also. It is representing two brands here. So this is co-branding. We can easily tell that this product having a co-branding strategy. Okay. So next one is same company co-branding. This is when a company with more than one product promotes their own brands together simultaneously. So this with more than one product, having more than one product, so they are going to promote their own brands together simultaneously. That is also called as a co-brand. Next one is promotional co-branding. So promotion, you want a promotion for your company, for your product, you are going to associate it with others. So that is called as a promotional co-branding. Co-branding with persons or a event. You can check an advertisement that a tiger is walking and coming in a forest, the wildlife, and it is associated with the Accenture company actually. Okay, so which is going to be having promotions of Accenture company with association with the tiger also. And next one is joint venture co-branding is another form of co-branding, defined as two or more companies going for a strategic alliance. Okay, two or more companies or venture partners are going to form a strategic alliance to present a product to the target audience. I just quoted an example here. British Airways and Citibank formed a partnership offering a credit. Okay, so next one is multiple sponsor co-branding. This form of co-branding involves two or more companies working together to form a strategic alliance in technology, promotion, sales, etc. So multiple, here so specific reasons will be there, and here no specific reason. It may be for technology, promotion, sales. They'll be having a multiple sponsor for a particular branding. So these are all some of the strategies of co-branding. Next, factors to be considered in co-branding. Some of the factors definitely going to make an influence when making combination with other companies, existing brand or the existing company. Very first one is Partner choice. Make a choice of a partner very much carefully. Those are having a good history, good sales volume, good brand image, brand equity, brand attitude, everything in a market. Those are already successful in a market. Such kind of a partners you need to choose for making a combination to produce a unique product and to call it as a co-branding products. So someone already not having a potential market and having a failure history, if you are combining with them, definitely you will not be having a scope of growth. Many times it involves losses, it involves many risk, it involves many competitions and hurdles. So better you need to identify a partner who is successful already in a market environment. Next one is product pricing also. So take example, I'm just quoting an example here. If the Apple and Samsung, okay, combines together as a co-branding. Apple products is something high priced and Samsung product is something moderate, and these these two brands are combined together, and pricing is less. It is going to make effect on Apple. It is having a less impact on Samsung. Why? Because Apple product with a high price, high performance and high quality. Samsung is moderate, that is okay. The product pricing is not going to be much effect on the Samsung brand image individually. But Apple is going to have a risk of pricing, because individual brand identity I am talking here. So it is always having a pricing strategy with the premium price only. So but when it co-branding, it is okay, but when it comes to individual brand image, the Apple is going to have a more impact. Okay, so next is promotions also. Again the same example here, Apple and the Samsung. So Apple is not going to invest more on promotion, and Samsung, but compared to Apple it is more actually, and the Apple is less. So here if you are using more promotional strategy for the Samsung, and individually the Apple will be having less brand image, because it is co-branded with Samsung and it is having more promotional strategy. Along with Samsung, the Apple is also going to be promoted. Definitely it is going to harm. Next one is symmetry in gain and losses. You need to make an agreement what is the sharing of gains and what is the sharing in losses. Everything need to be clear, and if it is not clear, you need to make an agreement, not orally, it should be in a written. The black and white agreement need to be done. The Apple people and the Samsung people need to be sign on that, how the profit is going to be shared, how the risk is going to be shared. So that is the major intention need to be considered, otherwise it is going to create a damage for an individual brand concepts. And next one is consumer preferences and co-branding, and definitely how customers are going to be react for co-branding products and how they are really going to be preferred by combination of two companies. If it is two are really good company, that is okay. If one is having a positive brand image and one is having a negative brand image in the market, definitely it is going to make an impact on consumer preferences for purchasing of a co-branding products. So these are some major factors to be considered while making a co-branding decision. So any doubts, you can call me. Thank you all.